Y'all about Shema Shah, about Shema Kakadash, the honor to the apostle Elsbury Millsong, peace, teaching, hopeful elect, Shalom. And I may title this lesson, These Incidents Are Proofs That You Small Hats Aren't the Chosen People. And pretty much as you could see in that video that I just brought out, where that small hat was being chased by those few dogs and getting pretty much attacked by those dogs, and he had to run away. And of course, common sense tells you if you run away from a dog is going to be prone to chase you and attack you. He's going to look at you as prey. And you best believe that was a spirit creative of vengeance, when those dogs, chased the nigga down and pretty much bit off his blazer. And, this stuff is happening to you as you Edomites are losing your kingdom, The earth is already kind of throwing their shade at you, and you have it to where these other nations all around are waking up to you small hats on how effed up you Amalekites really are. 'Cause that's what you really are. You're still Edomites, but you're just the chief tribe of the Edom, and there's pretty much no peace and unity amongst your own kind any damn way. You know what I mean? Because you do have even though the banking family members mostly are Amalekites, they're still for the nation of Edom, and they don't even give a fuck about you lower level Amalekites. And you got some of you Amalekites that's broke, some of y'all middle class, upper middle class, and then you got the banking family members. They don't give a fuck about y'all. So clearly there's a lot of division amongst y'all, and of course the banking family members, they only care about those that's in their closest families and those that's on their level, so they don't really give a fuck about all you rest of you Edomites that are pretty much considered as like an average citizen. So yeah, and you best believe when civil war breaks out, those banking family members are not going to be nowhere to be found around y'all, and they're not going to give you a bunker to pretty much dwell in. They're going to pretty much leave you and let whatever other nation or whatever Jake that's pretty much ready to lay hands on you damn devils, they're going to just not even care, and they're going to allow y'all to get taken by martial law as well. So you see, because the thing is that Esau don't give a damn about taking out a lot of his own just to pretty much reduce the world population, because that's one of the agenda from the elites. I mean, hey, after all, you had the elites, they funded the the Holocaust, and ultimately they allowed it to happen, and they were behind it. And of course the reason why it happened was because Hitler was a rejected Rothschild, but that's a topic for another lesson. But anyway, and in this article right here now it talks about how the victim of NYC anti-Semitic dog poop attack predicts attacker will get slapped on the wrist if caught. So this is an article that was about last month by Stephen Bagel and Joe Marino. It says a Jewish man who well, I don't want to bring out the video where Eric Adams was mentioning about how the anti-Semitism shit, because he might mention a little bit too much words that will eventually make this video get terminated or so I didn't want to bring that out. That's put in this article, but it's about a month ago. It says a Jewish man who had a bag of dog feces hurled at his face by a bike riding bigot predicted his attacker won't spend a day in jail if he's eventually arrested. Wow. So I guess he got some white privilege there, because he's supposed to be arrested. But anyways, back to the article. It says, and a quote, realistically, I don't know if the guy is caught. There is no chance he will be going to prison or getting something big. 32-year-old Hasidic father of 4 told the Post, railing against what he said are soft on crime policies enabling Big Apple criminals. When it comes to prosecution, that's the biggest issue. People are not scared, he said, of a recent spate of hate attacks on Jewish victims. The point is, if the city council will take it seriously, or if the justice system will be a little bit stronger, the chances of it happening will be less. The bike riding bigot allegedly yelled, "F fuck you, Jew," before hurling a bag of dog poop at the Jewish victim. The victim, who requested anonymity out of fear, just left work on June 4th in Soho when a man on a bicycle allegedly yelled, "Fuck you, Jew," before throwing the bag at his head and speeding away. It says, "He threw a bag straight at me," the victim said in a phone interview. "It basically sideswiped my face and went into my car. The disgusting incident left the lifelong New York shaken. I don't feel comfortable coming out too late from the office," he said. It was the second time he was attacked for being Jewish after he was punched about 12 years ago, he added. Wow. And it says, "It was a month or two after I got married," he recalled, adding he was on his honeymoon in Los Angeles, California at the time. "We were just walking and this random guy walked up. He said I had a coffee in my hand. He punched my coffee and punched me." The June 4th incident came as anti-Semitic attacks skyrocketed across the Big Apple in the wake of the Israel-Hamas war. In May, anti-Jewish hate crime surged by 150% compared to the same month in 2023, according to NYPD data. And quote, "I never thought I would get to a point where I would be part of a statistic," the victim said. Since October 7th, his Jewish co-workers have refused to take the train, fearing that they'll be a victim, but he's not willing to change his routine. "Someone mentioned to me that I should wear a cap and cover my yarmulke. I'm never going to do that." I don't know if that's how you pronounce that word. It says his attacker remained on the loose Wednesday. Oh, Salaki, it's yarmulke. That's what it is. So yeah, other than that, I'm gonna bring out some scriptures. The Lord willing makes less edifying. You see, one thing is like, on this side, of course, the real Israelites been going through, the affliction for so many years, and this is, of course, talking about our enemies Esau. For this scripture that I'm gonna bring out for the first precept, it says, Psalm 73, and verse 3, it says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked." Verse 4, "For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." Yeah, because at one point, when you seen they had us in hardcore captivity, and ultimately during the time of segregation, and even a little bit in fast forward into around this time period, growing up in the early 2000s and the 1900s and things of that nature, like, you didn't see that these devils were going through trouble like the way Jake was going through it, and they over here making it seem like the Holocaust was worse than hardcore captivity. That's a disrespect and mockery to our people, because it's like, when it's coming to what Jake had to suffer and what Jake continuously go through, it's like, you Amalekites and just you Edomites in general, you're new to the affliction now. Like, this is new to you. You having to deal with high inflation, you having to deal with being laid off, you having to deal with evictions, basically home foreclosures, like you basically getting your home repossessed by the banks or your cars. Jake had to be going through these things for a while. We've been going through depression for over 500 years and to this day. You Edomites, these things are just happening to you, and especially you Amalekites. And hey, this is what happens when you Amalekites have pretty much put a system in place that's corrupt. The fiat currency is not even real, it's fake, not even backed by gold and silver, and it's collapsing on y'all. And who is it attacking first? Is mainly you Edomites that are pretty much lower class, like you low level peon Edomites, everyday average Joe Edomites, middle class you upper middle class as well. You know what I mean? Ones that work at these decent jobs, these nice corporate level jobs that have a good decent income you're making. You know what I mean? It's affecting y'all too, because y'all are also in debt as well, and y'all gotta still pay off certain debts as well. You know, but for the ones who's like super rich, it's not really affecting them, because of course they got wealth that they could pass on for generations and generations, so they really good. You know, these banking family members can't stand the fucking traffic. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And it says, verse 6, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covered them as a garment, their eyes stand out with fatness, they have boarded their heart could wish, they are corrupt and speak it wickedly, concerning oppression they speak lawfully. Right. And the way they get more than they pretty much wish or whatever is because they go as far as increasing that which is not originally theirs. You know, they have a corrupt system that's set in place to go as far as basically repossessing everyone's assets, because they took out a loan and trusted into their banking system and things of that nature. And then when you owe debt and you can't make certain payments off in a reasonable amount of time past the grace period that they give you, which is maybe a month and some change, you know, or a couple of weeks or so, they just take that asset away from you, and basically it becomes the bank's properties now. And they just took all your years of labor. And you see, a lot of the times, all these things happen to Esau, where, you know, things don't go work in their favor, you know, and they end up pretty much going through the curses that Jake been going through for so many years, and they end up killing the whole family and things of that nature. But let me see. I'm gonna bring out Isaiah chapter 11, verse 6. It says, this is pretty much a promise for the nation of Israel, for the actual true Israelites. And this is how you know, first off, like, you know, these small hats, this is further proof that they're not the chosen people, because, you know, this is supposed to be a promise for the nation of Israel once the kingdom of heaven, you know, is set in place, which of course that will happen once this devil Esau goes down, and once Yahushua, you know, comes back and takes this devil out of power, you know, in the midst of World War III. So Isaiah 11 verse 6, it says, the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf, and the young lion, and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. Right. And that's to show you how peaceful animals are going to be. And they're going to get back their original strength, you know, like they had in the ancient world. And it might be even a lot better, because the Lord is going to make sure he makes the earth, you know, a paradise like how it was before, but it's going to be on a whole greater scale. So the animals may very well be faster and stronger than they were in the ancient world. Because you see all the suffering that this earth was going through under the hands of this devil Esau. You know, see, one thing about the Most High is, like, he may make people go through, well, even his own people, I'd say, he may make them go through certain things, give them certain adversities, things of that nature, but he always gives double back. He always repays back in double, you know, just like he did with Job. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does that with the earth, and even with the inhabitants of the earth, including like the animals and things of that nature. So it says in verse 7, and the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. So basically, animals going to be all having that you know, vegetarian, fruitarian, you know, type of diet, you know what I mean? And they're no longer going to be eating each other. You could have a rabbit chilling with an alligator. You could have an elephant, you know, chilling with the smallest animal. Because animals are going to be so respectful in the kingdom, they're not even going to be willing, you know, to hurt a fly. And that's how, you know, that's how calm they're going to be amongst each other. I mean, shit, when you look at the Animal Channel now, you see animals pretty much warring at each other. They got each other on the food chain and things of that nature. You got prey and predators. And another thing too is like you got war amongst the other nations as well. And scriptures say that how there's not going to be any more wars in the kingdom of heaven. You know, you got wars in the animal kingdom, and you got wars in, you know, on this side with the with people, you know, with other nations. And in verse 8 it says, and the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice's den. Verse 9 is the main part. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Right, and you see, that's only a promise to the nation of Israel, which is so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, that none of the animals are going to harm us, because it's like we're all going to be under that tree of life. You know, we're all going to be following all the law, statutes, commandments. So it's not going to be a contract that we're going to break with the Heavenly Father anymore. You know, we're all going to be under that new covenant. So as all of our people is going to be in order, we don't have to worry about the curses. Because you see, you cannot own a certain animal, like a exotic animal in the wild. You see, in the kingdom, you're going to be able to do all that. But right now, you can't even do that. Because, I mean, they have a lot of demons on them, and they may just very well turn on you. Even if you groom them from being a small cub. And shit, you even have some vicious dogs, too, that turn on their owners that are supposed to be domesticated as well. So, how much more an animal out in the wild is highly likely to turn on you? And Esau sees it, they turn on him too. You know, you see in the what you call it, the zookeepers and the in the aquariums, you see the ones that train the animals how to do tricks and all that shit. They turn on the zookeepers as well. So yeah, and it shows you that they're not the chosen people. Because it's gonna be like how it was back in the times of Noah, where all the animals were listening to Noah. Our people are definitely going to have spiritual powers, so it's like in the kingdom, all of our people, so it's going to be definitely be, you know, that's a spiritual power in itself, like being able to talk to and communicate with animals, and for them to actually have respect for you and things of that nature. But you see the other nations, they're going to go through the curses, you know, and those animals are going to pretty much, you know, tear them apart, and, you know, they're going to go as far as attacking the other nations, especially Esau, for all the shit that they did during the time of their rulership against, you know, the animals. And Esau, of course, he's gonna get it the worst, because he did, you know, this whole earth dirty. So seeing those dogs attacking that Amalekite in that video, you know, that's just a small thing of what's gonna happen to him in the kingdom. The animals will be harmless against each other, and definitely be harmless against the Israelites, and the only ones they're going to really attack when it's coming to other life forms is going to be, you know, the other nations, and especially Esau. And this is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And you see, that's a curse right there, you know. And the Lord did mention in Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7, that how he'll put all his curses that the nation of Israel have been going through, he's going to put it on all of our enemies, on them that hate us, you know. And we're seeing that more than ever happening to these small hats, you know. All the curses is happening to them, you know. A decent portion of the curses, I'll say, like division amongst the families, you know. They're starting to see Edomites, you know, attacking other Edomites, just like in that article that I, you know, just read. That the Edomite throwing a bag of shit at a pretty much at an Amalekite. Yeah, because Esau, scriptures say that Satan is divided against Satan, and his kingdom is not going to be able to stand because of that. So you have that even within politics, and you have that, you know, of course, amongst different social classes that Esau is in, you know. got the rich against the poor and the middle class against the poor, and even amongst their social class that they're in, they're against each other because of the different belief systems that they have and the different political views that they have as well, you know. So that's how you know the civil war is, you know, is imminent and is ready to happen, and Esau is going to definitely be fighting against other Edomites. And for crying out loud, there's even agenda warfare amongst them, not only amongst Jake, but you have their woman going against them as well, you know. You got their woman actually, you know, dealing with Jake on the side, you know, going out, being a whore and things of that nature, you know. So how the hell can y'all be the chosen people? And if y'all so much the chosen people, I mean, shit, where's the streets paved with gold? Why is the earth still mostly in the cities? You see a lot of concrete, you see a lot of pretty much, it's a lot of graffiti, you know what I mean? There's a lot of trash and you call it litter, you know what I mean? The earth is supposed to be a complete paradise. So we clearly know that you Edomites is just, you know, capping about being the chosen people, and there's no unity amongst y'all, you know. Y'all are hella divided against each other, and y'all been divided against each other even during the times of, you know, Greek ruling, and, you know, during the time of the Roman Empire, most definitely during that time. And that's how ancient Rome fell, mainly because you Edomites were heavily against each other, and y'all were doing all type of stupidity to make your kingdom fall. And I'll say back then, at the time of the Romans, y'all had at least a little bit of somewhat of a better sense than y'all do now, because it's like at this point now, it's like you Edomites have become so corrupt and so profane and vile that look what you're doing with the money system now, you know what I mean? Because back then, at least as the ancient Romans, you know, that back in that time, you know, people were mostly wearing robes and things of that nature and fringes. But nowadays, you know, they're pushing this type of corrupt level of clothing, mixed fabric, and then they're also destroying the earth on a whole nother level, these Edomites. And then another thing too, it's like, look what you're doing to the economy, you know what I mean? And look how you oppressing the people. So you have further became the devil that you originally were, you know, because scripture said that how you increase and enlarge your desires, hell, as it tells you in Habakkuk the 2nd chapter verse 5. Yeah, and that proves there that you Edomites ultimately are the devils, and you small hats are even worse devils, and you're not the chosen people. So with that, hold me, let's edify, let's give all glory, praise, and honor to Adonai Yahweh Bashem Shamalak Yoshua Bashem Kakadash, the one who surpasses us by most, peace, teaching, hopeful, shalom.